What's up, y'all? I kind of mechanic tip for y'all. Got a 2021 Dodge Ram 3500 6.4 diesel heater issue. Good heat on passenger side, zero heat on the driver's side, which was a weird one because this particular does not have anything like the climate control for passenger driver. It's just pretty straightforward. Air comes in right here. There's your AC. In case you're wondering, air always goes through that because it dries the air as well, so your cab ain't steaming up. That's from, you see the little puddle in the summertime that's on the side of your car when it's really hot out and you're running an AC. That's where that's coming from. AC condenser there. Then in here goes your heater core, which is where your coolant comes in through here. Goes in there, and then you're going to have some fins there. I don't know if you can see them, but right there's a little blend door that can go back and forth to control how much heat you want. And then it goes into these boxes, and there's, you can get up and down, but there's no more changes as far as, left to right. So very confusing. But if you go into here, you'll see, I don't know if you can really tell very well. There you get a flashlight maybe. Oh, there you go. You can't really tell, but in there's going to be two places for air to go, actually. There's going to be the top portion and the bottom portion. And then that's, again, I think it goes all the way back to 2020 with these trucks. Pretty much same dash. You got to take the dash out, big pain in the butt, steering column. You're going to have all this junk too. It's a fun time. And then the tricky part you're gonna have back here, you're gonna have 4 bolts, or 3 bolts actually on the front here. There's one there, and then there's one down there. You can't really see, you can kind of see the hole there, and then where that light is, there's the third one over on that side. Not a very horrible one to get apart, lots of small pieces, but so going back to the issue, Dodge Rams, I thought this guy was driving around with the dog a bunch, and I thought it kind of maybe plugged up the outside of the condenser. The way that the filter ended up looking was pretty plugged, but got to this, and it's important to know when we get to this box, where it separates, what it's separating is left and right there. So that is our only spot, right where that heater core is, where we're getting a separation of left and right for these trucks that don't have the dual climate control. And getting to the damaged part, the problem part, this is our old heater core. Now this guy is going to sit like this in the truck, and I don't know if you can really tell, but all that sludge really gives a good example right here. So this is the side cut out from that. You got all that sludge in there, and if you just can see, that's a very thick pile of goo, pretty gnarly stuff, and that just built up in the bottom of this little tiny radiator heater core, and it fills up that bottom portion right there. And remember how that goes. So that bottom portion is going to go to your driver's side, and the top portion is going to go to your passenger side. So you're going to get this weird phenomenon with I don't know what's going on. That's very weird. I'm getting plenty of airflow. It gets really hot on the passenger side, and I got freaking no heat on the driver's side. And that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a plugged heater core, which, as you can see, is quite a bit of work. I was dinking around a little bit, but we're probably at like 5 hours-ish to get to this point. Now, a lot of guys pull the seats and all this junk to get this wire out of here, because it goes back and hooks up to something under the middle seat there. But I found, I just was able to pull the carpet back, roll this back out of the way, and then I didn't have to disconnect the AC lines. AC lines are still here, still good. You know, it's all hooked up. You're able to slide it back enough to get the hoses off, and then just pull it back enough, then you can get the heater core right up out of there. So you don't have to mess with the AC. And this has a really pain in the butt bracket here. I kind of snapped it, but it looks like I can fix it. No big deal. But I think that's got a screw in the front of it up here that you got to get to. It's kind of tricky if you're kind of just sneaking it out of there a little bit, but that's how I did it. That's what the issue was. That's how we solved it. Once again, 2021 Dodge Ram 3500 with a 6.4 heater issue, no heat on the driver's side, and that was like no heat anything, like no AC, no floor, no heater, no vents, just nothing, and it was just a split right down the middle. Yeah. Hope that helped you guys. It was a tricky one for me just because it was kind of a weird issue when I just split, a perfect split from passenger to driver's side. Tricky one, but you know, got the proof. There's the pudding.